All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Detox Divas. I'm super excited to have you all here tonight. I love this little community. I love the people that show up every week and so appreciate your time and so proud of you for taking your health into your hands and learning things along the way that might help you on your own journey or help other people from the stuff that you know here. So with our topic tonight is why everything hurts and nothing seems to help. So we're going to dig into that tonight and go into the different layers of what's going on in your body and different solutions that could possibly help you. So a little bit about me. I am Coach Tina, and my journey began years ago when my mom was diagnosed with cancer. I was very afraid of losing her, but I knew that there had to be a better way. She and my stepdad was a holistic veterinarian, did acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine. And she knew that if she ever got cancer, she probably wouldn't want to do chemo because of the stories that she's heard and their research into holistic health. Sadly, neither one of us could find the right combo to save her, and I spent 7 absolutely beautiful weeks walking her to heaven through hospice, which what an amazing organization that is. So that led me here, root cause healing, finding ways to help support other people. I'd made my mama a promise that I would not let another daughter lose their mama to cancer on that journey. And so I'm constantly looking for ways to help support the body when it is faced with life challenges that need additional support. So that was the moment that everything really changed for me. And I went all in on understanding the body, how it works. And after years of studying it, supporting thousands of people, and paying close attention to what actually works, what doesn't work, I just knew that there had to be a better way. And when we came to the company, there really wasn't a product focused education. And so the Detox Divas were born, I believe, in January of 2022. So we focus on root cause healing around here with real food. We get real results from our people who feel a real difference. And so that is what we are about around here. So I'm not doing this alone. A lot of people on the call are sharing these things with others, sharing these products with the people that they care about also because they've had such great results, but none of this would be possible without these two amazing women. We've got Alexandria Brighton, our master formulator on the left. She brings more than 30 years of formulating, and it all is grounded in working with the body instead of forcing it, which is so important. The body is going to rebel if you try to force it into a situation it is not ready for, which is why we are very careful in educating and do have this amazing liver detox that we're going to talk about. So she pairs that with real science that she had studied through the years and whole plant ingredients. We don't take isolates out of the plant and dissect it and take that one piece. We use the whole plant around here. And they're clean, effective, and made to last. And then on the other side over here, you see Paula Scarcella, our founder and our visionary. She is amazing. She leads from one simple drive, helping people build healthier lives and bigger futures. All she wants to do is make an impact. That is, I hear her say that so many times. I just want to make an impact. So Zalara, our new company that combines the two former companies with green organics. It brings decades, 23 years combined experience and trusted formulations under one roof, making ordering so much simpler. And cocoBLUE that we've been talking about the past couple of weeks is the lead product that we are most excited about right now. It's actually taken over the #1 spot for my supplement use. Fulvic did get bumped to #2, but I still love it. So we just want to help people live fully. So when I hand you something or someone on this call hands you something, just know that there is real heart and intention behind that. So before we begin, a little bit of housekeeping here. So these statements made in this presentation or any green organic, Solara, Heart Body Naturals, Go to Sauna, anything like that is for educational purposes only. It's not intended to as medical advice, has not been approved or evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. We are not intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. The information shared here on our website, literature, and presentations is not intended as medical advice. I am not a doctor. I'm just passionate about good health and good health choices. And it's not here to replace the primary relationship you have with your primary caregiver. Any decision that you make about your health should be done with that assistance. And made with that one-on-one help of your provider, but always go in there with your knowledge and what you have learned so that you can present the facts and have that conversation about a holistic complement to what you're going through. So if you have medical conditions, your physician, obviously before taking, I always tell people, take the product information pages to your pharmacist, because they're going to know more about any interactions from the drugs that you're taking. And by looking at the ingredients on the product information page, they're going to be able to tell you better than your own doctor, because that's their specialty. Their specialty is drugs and interaction. So the pharmacist is a great place to take that. So the quiet fire. So let's describe a morning, and let me tell you if this is how your morning starts. So you wake up, and before your feet hit the floor, you're already taking inventory of what hurts today. The stiff back, the achy hands, the neck that already hurts, maybe a headache coming on, the fog that does not lift until that first cup of coffee. And here's the part right here. You've gotten so used to all of that that you barely mention it anymore. You've just learned how to live with that as being a part of your life, and that it's aging, it's your health, it's hereditary, it's all these things that you just make a part of your normal life. So that's what I call that quiet fire. And tonight we're going to talk about what that actually is. So Time Magazine, a couple years ago, back in 2004, they did a huge article, and it was kind of one of the first things where they really started talking about inflammation. And they put inflammation right on its cover and called it the secret killer. And they tied it to that slow inner fire, to heart disease, to cancer, to so much of what steals our quality of life on a daily basis. And that article had the perfect title, and they called it The Fire Within. So this was over 22 years ago, but most of us are still not talking about it as much as we should. Inflammation is very dangerous within the body. So we need to make sure that we're having those conversations with people we love and finding things that are going to calm the fire, not just take the batteries out of the smoke detector. So tonight we are going to talk about that. So most pain is not an injury. And so that's the first thing I want you to hear. So it's your body's inflammation response stuck on high alert. And that's why it shows up as whole body inflammation. That's why it touches your brain. That's why it affects your mood, your focus, and why it fuels that fatigue and that brain fog. And why it also creates those aches and stiffness within your body, and why it slowly drains your defenses. Your immune system gets under attack. It's not just one spot, because inflammation does not live in one spot. You feel it everywhere, because inflammation is truly everywhere within your body. And this is what makes it so sneaky. It's the same fire, but it shows up at different addresses. Right. And so think of a fireman, you've got all these fires going on within the body. It's got to find all these places to go shut that switch off, stop providing the fuel for that fire, but nobody's really connecting the dots. So for one person, it may land in the joints and gets called joint pain, arthritis, and then you're put on drugs for that. For someone else, that might be the brain fog or the memory issues or autoimmune flare-ups or chronic fatigue. And for someone else, it's going to be digestive issues or hormones that are off. or the heart concerns, or a mood that just will not lift. So those are all examples of inflammation going on in your body. And I don't have my chat up, but if you could say in the chat, my inflammation shows up as, and give me some examples so I can read that when the call is over, I would appreciate that. So these different symptoms, different labels, different prescriptions, but underneath so much of it is the exact same root. Different symptoms, but it all starts from the same thing. So calm is the work of putting the fire out. Okay, so let's talk about how this is supposed to work, because this is the part that not a lot of people teach, and it might be the most important thing you hear tonight. So your body does not just sit and wait for inflammation to fade down on its own. It runs an active program to shut it down, and that program needs resources to do its job. Without the resources, your inflammation is not going to get under control. So calm is not the absence of fire. Calm is your body doing the work of putting the fire out. Your body knows how to heal. It just needs the supplies. And we have those supplies. So the trouble is sometimes that switch gets stuck on. And so if you picture a master switch inside your cells, when that flips on, it turns on that inflammation. And in a real emergency, that's exactly what you want, right? You want that inflammation. Like suppose you get a cut on your hand, right? You can see that red, you can see that itching, you can feel that healing. And that's an inflammatory response. That's a normal inflammatory response where your body is actively working to heal a part that has damage. But the trouble is when that switch gets stuck on in the on position, it just keeps firing. And that same signal over and over and over again, long after the danger is actually gone. And that alarm is blaring and there's no fire drill. So it's like somebody pulled the fire drill in your high school gym and the whole school had to evacuate. So there's just a switch. There's not a reset. So every fire needs its fuel. And this one runs on what we call free radicals. They're little unstable molecules that's created by stress, by the toxins. We talk about this all the time, don't we? By poor diet, processed foods, pollution, and really so much more. The personal care, the household care, your makeup, your deodorant, if you're not using something that's organic. All of that piles up, and they always say, oh, a little bit's not going to hurt. Well, it's a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, and your body has no resources to get rid of that. And your body is going to respond to them with inflammation to protect and repair, which is good, right? But here's the loop. That inflammation creates even more free radicals. And that's going to cause more damage, which keeps that fire alive. It goes round and round and round and round. And this is the spark loop. And this is what keeps your symptoms coming back. This is the whole game. And how do we break this loop and calm that fire? So the real root of the fire, if we're going to be honest, it does not even start with you. It starts with your environment. The depleted soil grows stressed plants, and stressed plants give us deficient food. Not only that, we've talked several times about the soil being depleted of nutrients and minerals, and the fresh vegetables you see on the right there, they're deficient in the minerals that our bodies needs. And so over time, your body starts to mirror that same depletion. So what you're not feeding it is what your body is going to start responding to. So I need you to hear this. The fire you feel is not your fault. I always say that. Your health is not your fault. You just have to find the way to get to the root of it. It's your biology adapting to a world that no longer fully supports it. I'm going to say that again. The fire in your body causing the inflammation is your biology adapting to a world that no longer fully supports it. Now, that's a pretty scary statement, isn't it? So you're not broken. You're just adapting. So then we have the three things that can change everything. So what do? How do we calm this inflammation down? So it really comes down to three things. And one, we have to lower the spark with antioxidants. We have to bring water back into the cell because we can drink water all day. We learned that last week, and we are not fully hydrated for the most part. And then we have to refuel that energy your body burns to put that fire out. And that's it. You lower the spark, you hydrate the cell, and you refuel the engine. It's simple and it's foundational and it's completely doable. So cocoBLUE is the product that we're going to talk about tonight. And we're going to talk about that in relationship to your inflammatory response. And this is where cocoBLUE comes in. So everything I just described, those three things your cells are asking for, that's the whole reason cocoBLUE exists. That's why it's so effective. And so I hear all these testimonies about the clarity and the energy, and I keep saying, wait till you hear about the inflammation. Wait till you hear about the inflammation. Now, it's not going to be an overnight thing because it didn't take you overnight to get to this spot. But over time, cocoBLUE is going to provide those three signals for your inflammatory responses to start calming down. It's going to feed the body what it needs so it can respond appropriately. Let's put it that way. So this is cell food and cell water in a glass. It's a whole food blend that feeds and hydrates the cell so the terrain can calm down. And I want to be really clear about what it's not. It does not force your body into do anything. It's not a drug. It's not a binder. It simply gives your body what it has been missing, that foundational support, that whole nutrient-dense food, so it can support its own inflammatory responses. It's just the fuel for your body to perform optimal performance. So when you start supporting the source, you're going to calm that response. So the blue does not work alone. And the deep blue comes from I had this down, Phycocyanin. There you go. But the Phycocyanin has backup. And you have moringa in here. You've got the deep plant pigments, which are if you see deep colored plants, they're really good for you. And then you've got your vitamin C. And all of them are adding more antioxidant cover to what's going on in the body. So your body's not standing there facing this whole spark load all by itself. This is an orchestra, not a solo. So it's the real food blend. It's what it does over a single isolated ingredient simply cannot do. And that's one of the reasons I love the products here so much. You see so many products out there and people saying, oh yes, but we have, this part of the plant. Well, that's not as effective as that whole plant. You've got to have that whole food going into your cells. So now here's the part that I love, because I love to get on PubMed. I love to look at these sciences. I do this like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm all over PubMed. I love this stuff. But the Phycocyanin has been studied for the way it gently supports your body's own inflammation signals. So think back to that stuck switch that I showed you earlier. Instead of slamming it off the way the pain reliever does, the Advil, the pharmaceuticals, it doesn't just shut that switch off. It helps ease it down. And while leaving the protective inflammation you actually still need right where it's at. And this is not just a nice idea. This is a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled human study published in the Journal of Medicine Food. So on a high dose of this extract from the spirulina, the source of our blue, so as a pain reliever silences the whole system, this is going to help your body settle its own switch the way it was designed. Pretty brilliant, isn't it? So you are not silencing the alarm, you are rebuilding the house. And that's the difference all the way through this. You're not silencing that alarm. That alarm is there to tell you something is wrong. And somebody asked me today, do you always feel the inflammation, or does it always show up in pain? and stiffness. And it starts long before that pain starts. It starts with those sleepless nights. It starts with that brain fog. It starts with that kind of discombobulated feeling within you that you just don't feel right. The weight gain, can't lose weight, can't gain weight. Those are all signs of something going on in your body that needs to be looked at and addressed. So instead of forcing that switch off, we're rebuilding the house. Instead of muting what your body is trying so hard to tell you, you're handing it back the fuel, the water, and the antioxidants. It needs to run its own off switch. Okay. Your body knows how to run that, but it gets stuck because there's so much going on. You stop masking, you restore your resources, you rehydrate, you refuel, and you stop fighting your body. You start resourcing it because the resource body is that calmer body. So let's go a little deeper on each one of those. So starting with the water, because this one surprises people. And I said this last week, you can drink water all day and still be dry where it actually counts. cocoBLUE helps move water inside of the cell where the real work happens. So your terrain can actually function. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that we could drink too much water, that it was ineffective, and people, add a little fulvic to it, add a little sea salt to it, add some Celtic salt, whatever that is to help it absorb better. But now I completely understand the whole picture. So the hydrated cells are the calm cells, and the calm cells heal. So when you're hydrating your cells properly, you're going to help them heal themselves. Water in the cell, life in the body. So nourishment. We talked about food and how it's really depleted with minerals and stuff. And cocoBLUE is more than just the hydration. It's going to deliver the nutrients to your cells also. And your cells need those nutrients in order to build and be functioning at their optimal performance, to repair themselves and to thrive. It's a whole food, the kind of nutrition your body actually recognizes. It's not something synthetic, no synthetics, no fillers, nothing like that. And it supports your terrain so your body can do the rest. This is the nourishment from the inside out. And also pay attention to your skin tone, because the better your cells are producing on the inside, you're going to start glowing on the outside. I've already had some people notice that just in the 3 weeks, 1 month that I've been taking the cocoBLUE. So again, real food, real hydration, real results. Then we get into the real food. So put it together. We got the cocoBLUE. It's made from the whole food ingredients your body recognizes. It's going to deliver that hydration that you need, the nutrients, the energy your cells need to thrive, hydration that supports the fluid balance, nutrition that brings the vitamins, minerals, and plant nutrients to your cells that they're asking for. This is natural, steady energy that I don't think I've ever felt before in my life. It's really hard for me to describe this natural energy that I feel when drinking the cocoBLUE. It's not like a rush. It's not like this overabundance of energy. It's just this calm awakeness is the only way that I can describe this. And it's also going to give you an overall sense of wellness, so you can feel and function at your best. So you've got your real nourishment, you've got your real energy, you've got your real you, and you got your real hydration. So this is bigger than a drink. Fuel the body, elevate your life. cocoBLUE is a daily ritual. I like to take my drink and thank it before I take my first sip, because I'm so grateful to have this in my life. And it's also self-care. It is truly self-care when you can feed your body what it needs. Again, the whole food ingredients your body is going to trust. And we've talked about this before in the Divas. When your body starts to trust what you're doing, everything else is going to start to feel safe on the inside, and it's going to start releasing the things that no longer serve you. Okay. And when you do that day after day, you start to feel that difference. more energy, better focus, steadier mood, nourished cells, a more balanced body, more elevated life. Again, fuel that body and elevate your life. Nourish today, thrive tomorrow with this. So this is really just the beginning. So I want to be honest with where we're at. We're only 2 weeks into this, 3 weeks into this training on cocoBLUE. There's so much more to learn, and we are barely scratching the surface of everything that this blue can do. So I put on see the big picture, because here's the bigger picture, that cocoBLUE is step one. You're going to feed and hydrate your cells now. You're going to start calming that terrain down. And when our liver cleanse opens July 28th through the 30th, your body is calm, fed, and actually ready to do that deeper work. This is going to be probably one of the best liver cleanses that we have had. And post liver cleanse, cocoBLUE is going to be even more powerful because you've removed some of that debris. So the blue is going to be your foundation, the whole cleanse stands on, and you're not just learning tonight, you're just your prep work. We're pre-gaming with some cocoBLUE. Let me get a sip real quick. So that is the presentation on that. So let's do some little final closing slides here. When you buy cocoBLUE or the liver cleanse kit, in the month of July, After Bite is going to be the free product of the month. One more way to eliminate those chemicals from your life is to get that After Bite. And if you want, there's also an amazing bug spray that you can add onto your order. Great compliment. My bites go away almost, or not bites, but the itching goes away almost immediately with this After Bite. It's amazing. So eliminating chemicals at every step that you can. So then our liver cleanse, 28th and 30th, 28th, 29th, and 30th is going to be epic. We're going to be running that in our wellness community. So excited for that. Are you on doing the liver cleanse with this time? It'll be your first time. Have you done it before? What are your experiences? I want to know. So we're going to support that liver function. We're going to nourish that. We all need this liver support on a daily basis because of the toxins that we're exposed to. We need to love that liver. We're going to reduce that toxic burden going on in our body. That's going to help even more calm that fire. We're going to improve that energy and mental clarity. I hear it all the time from so many people when they're done with the liver cleanse, they always end up craving healthy foods when it's over. And I love that aspect of it. So shop the produce, shop the organic section. I know it's a little bit more, but trust me, it's going to be worth it in the long run because it's less expensive to eat organic than to pay for a situation that comes along later. And a lot of people end up losing weight. I was going back through some testimonies today, which actually I've got a screen coming up with some. One person lost 12 pounds. I know I lose anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds on a liver cleanse, just getting rid of that inflammation. And so that's another benefit also. So it's going to come with the vitality, which I'm going to go over this whole kit in another call and show you actually how to use it, how to take it, and what to do with it. So this is the deeper work here that the cocoBLUE has been getting you ready for. And here's the thing, you don't have to take my word for any of it. Let me show you what our own community is saying. Angela P, I lost 7 inches off my waist and my inflammation is way down. My clothes are feeling better. I feel confident again. Lisa M, I feel lighter, less bloated, and my digestion is finally working like it should. This cleanse reset my whole body. Maria G, I finally feel like myself again. My mood is better. My anxiety is down, and I feel more like me than I have in years. I mean, that is just a small sample of the testimonies that we get when people do this liver cleanse. So if you have not done one yet, I highly suggest you get one put on your auto ship so you get those member reward points back. And do that with us next month. Next week, we will be talking why is your liver the first thing you should cleanse? And we're going to go into that Thursday, July 2nd, right before the 4th of July. And so I'm excited to have you there. I'm excited to share that part of the call with you and that part of the series. And so I hope you'll be back next week. It's the same time, 7 o'clock Central. CoffeeTalkWithTina.com is always our link. Just put a calendar reminder on your Google Calendar, whatever calendar you're using. And that will be the same thing each week that we teach. Now, I'm not on every single week. I've got some amazing people that will come in and fill in for me from time to time. But for the most part, you'll see me. But we'll always have great topics. So with that, I am going to stop the share. I appreciate all of you so much for being on this call tonight. Absolutely love doing these calls with you. Thank you for your patience in the beginning. And for anyone watching this on YouTube, please get back to whoever shared this with you. They would be more than happy to walk you through the liver cleanse, walk you through your first order. And if you've never purchased before, there's probably a $25 gift card that you could add to the liver cleanse kit. Get yourself 2 bags of the cocoBLUE so that you've got a 14-day sample to start mineralizing that body before the liver cleanse starts on the 28th. So with that, thank you again for coming tonight. Appreciate you all so much. And we will see you. Oh, Christmas in July. Marcus, do you want to unmute and talk about that?
I don't know how much we can share about it, but every year the company does a Christmas in July special, and so stay tuned for some specials that are coming. It'll be some free stuff, which is great. Paul is always coming up with great giveaways, and she shared a couple of them with us. And I know we're also having a new product that's supposed to launch with Zalara, also that hair oil stuff, the Tanner oil. I think that's what it's called. So, but knowing her, she will probably surprise us with even more specials. So just stay tuned for that. And so those will be live on July 1st, which is what, next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday. So stay tuned, guys, and great call tonight. Thank you for sharing your passion with the Detox Divas. I'm like you, my mom died at the age of 52 from cancer. So this business company wasn't even in existence when she was diagnosed with cancer. But that's part of the reason why I'm here, because I changed my life when I lost my mom at the age of 28 years old. So I've been married to my wife longer than my mom was alive. Just keep that in perspective. But
Yeah.
products are great, and just looking forward to us going out there and helping many people as we can experience these products. And like you said, Paula's all about impact. She always says, every testimony we share with her, she always responds back, it's about impact. All right. So we can go out there and touch one person's life, and they can go and share with someone else. We've done our job. Thank you, Coach Team.
Thank you. Thank you, Marcus. Yeah, Christmas in July is looking to be something pretty amazing. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, guys. I will have, obviously, Christmas in July slide for the next week Detox Diva call if you don't hear about it before then, but I'm sure you will if you're plugged in. Thank you for coming. Please get back to whoever shared this with you for more information. Have a great night. Bye-bye.